Most Americans think the Second World War never touched US soil after Pearl Harbor. That's not entirely true. In 1942, Japanese forces occupied two tiny islands off Alaska, Attu and Kiska. For the men who went there, the fight was less about headlines and more about survival. The Aleutians are a world apart, cold, remote, and endlessly wet. Fog could roll in and swallow an entire ridge. Temperatures swung from rain to snow in minutes. Equipment rusted. Radios failed. Planes were grounded by weather. Most casualties weren't from enemy bullets. They came from frostbite, from exposure, from the kind of small grinding failures that kill quietly. Fuel shortages, frozen rifles, food that spoiled in damp tents. The environment was an enemy of its own. In June 1942, Japanese forces landed on Kiska and Attu. They occupied the islands for months while the rest of the world's attention was elsewhere. The headlines were filled with Guadalcanal, Midway, the war in Europe. But for the few thousand soldiers, sailors, and airmen involved, it was very real. The Japanese presence was strategic. A forward base to observe American ship movements and to harass supply lines. It was also a psychological blow. Proof that the war could reach American territories. In May of 1943, the United States launched an assault to retake Attu. About 15,000 American troops faced roughly 2,000 Japanese defenders, dug into rugged ridgelines and caves. Visibility was poor. Battles were fought at close range, often hand-to-hand. The fighting was brutal and personal. The U.S. lost more than 500 men in the campaign. Hundreds more were wounded. Japanese casualties were nearly total by the end of the battle. What's rarely told is how much of the cost came from weather and isolation, not just enemy action. Kiska was different. In August 1943, American and Canadian forces invaded to find nothing. The Japanese had quietly withdrawn weeks earlier.